Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can still see some people joining. We start?
Yeah.
Yes. And people would join in. This is a Sunday morning, so let's. All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this session on digital marketing. Thank you for joining in on a Sunday morning. And yes, as people join in, we'll quickly get started with the introductions. I'm happy to announce and share that Sukanya Dikshit is now with us as an ambassador for the Women in Entrepreneurship program. Sukanya is an IIT Roorkee graduate with biotechnology, and she is a serial entrepreneur, if I may say so. The most recent achievement for Sukanya is that she has been selected into the UN Women Entrepreneurship Program, and today's program would be anchored by Sukanya. So, over to you, Sukanya, to take this program ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the opportunity, and thank you for giving such a lovely introduction. So, just to start with, I just kind of remembered a quote which was said by the founder and CEO of Airbnb. I think most of you might be knowing him. He has done a lot of TED Talks, Brian Chesky. So once he said, build something 100 people love, not something 1 million people kind of like. And with the same thought, I think that's why marketing comes into play. Just to do that, we need to know what consumers are looking for, what their values are, how we can meet their needs. Now, it's just not about big data, but it's about translating that into truth. And innovation needs to be a part of every startup culture. Consumers are transforming faster than we are. And if we don't catch up, we are surely in trouble. In the world of internet consumer service, it's important to remember your competitor is only one mouse click away. But the good thing is, we have technology, finally, that for the first time in the human history allows people to maintain rich connections with much larger numbers of people. I think that quite sums up why digital marketing is so important in today's world. And that's why we have with us Mr. Mandar Marathe, who is a digital marketing consultant with cross-functional hands-on expertise in digital marketing across search engine optimization, Google, Facebook, LinkedIn ads, and content marketing. In his 14-year-long career, he has worked with Infosys, US-based Digitas and Reprise Media. In 2013, he started BriefKase, his own digital marketing agency. Since then, he has been a digital marketing consultant to over 100 startups and SMEs, helping them find new customers and grow exponentially through SEO, Google, Facebook ads, and also link content marketing. He has been the visiting faculty for digital marketing at IIM Sirmaur and the Great Lakes Institute of Management, Chennai. and is teaching digital marketing as guest faculty at Shailesh J. Mehta School of Management, IIT Bombay since 2011. So welcome to you, sir. And now it's all yours. The stage is all yours to take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
for joining.
Sukanya. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for having me here and providing me an opportunity to share whatever little I know about digital marketing. Let me just quickly share my screen and get started. Great. So today, I mean, we have a couple of hours with us. So I'll just do, although Sukanya has given a wonderful introduction, I'll just quickly maybe zoom into my life, since we are now used to Zoom calls a lot, right? So background, I'm a computer science engineer, an engineer turned marketer, someone who didn't like to code. So that's why I think marketing was the next best option. And being an engineer, I think digital marketing is something which I took flight with. So I started BriefKase in 2013, like Sukanya said. Currently, I'm also CEO at Koppr. We are a fintech financial wellness platform. And I've been visiting faculty at IIT Bombay since 2011. So I created the digital marketing course, the entire syllabus for IIT Bombay's School of Management, and then started taking that course in 2011. This is my, in February, I finished my 10th year of teaching at IIT Bombay. Apart from that, I mean, if you need to know more about me, you can just search for me on LinkedIn, and or you can visit my website mandarmarathe.net, and you'll find more information about myself. Right. So without much delay, I know digital marketing is a vast subject, and it's very difficult even to get to the tip of the iceberg uh, in a couple of hours. But I'll try to. That's why it was very difficult for me to put together this presentation, because I didn't know, what all we should cover in 2 hours, right? So I've tried my level best to focus on maybe 4 key areas of digital marketing that are relevant to business owners, and mainly startup business owners, right? Since I understand that the majority composition of participants here today are business owners. So we are going to talk about why businesses use digital marketing, how your consumers or how consumers find businesses online, right? How to drive traffic to your app or your website, and obviously how to grow your business using digital marketing. These are the 4 key areas. Karthik, if you could just pull up the poll and share it with all the participants, maybe we could have. The poll has a simple question: how many of you have used digital marketing for growing your business, whether it's brand awareness or lead generation, whatever it might be, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
can we just have the poll out?
Yeah, can you stop the screen share? I'll just pull it out.
Yeah.
Just tell me when it is visible.
Yeah, I've stopped. Yes.
Like, is the screen visible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you'll have to open, just a moment. You'll all have to open up Mentimeter, menti.com, and open the code 48747453.
Can you also type it in the chat, or let me just
Yeah.
type it in the chat?
Please put it in the chat.
Menti.com, right?
Yeah. Just everyone go menti.com and the code is 7.
Great. So I'll have maybe give 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe to just give your answers once everyone is there. Really quick. So I'll count down to 30, maybe that will get people get to this faster. So 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Could we close down the poll? So what I see is most of the folks are have tried it, but very few actually deploy digital marketing. So many have not tried it, and many have just heard about it, but maybe so not yet tried digital marketing. Great. So I think good. Now let me just quickly share my screen. If you can stop sharing. Great. So so if I may ask, another question, and you can use the chat to type in your answers there, right? Why do businesses use digital marketing? For those who have tried or maybe just have heard about digital marketing, why do you think businesses use digital marketing? Yes, you can type it on chat. Milan says branding and user acquisition, customer behavior, higher reach. Yes. Others? Anita and Suhas say digital outreach. Vaishali says awareness. Effective way to do reach to a broader set of people plus branding plus things. So mostly what I'm hearing is branding, higher reach, uh, acquisition of consumers. So a lot of you are correct, right? We use digital marketing, or as digital marketers, we leverage digital marketing techniques for 5 key areas or 5 key reasons, and how we help businesses. So first is, obviously most of you said, we use digital marketing for brand awareness, uh, which means we'll talk about what brand awareness is. Second, we use for user acquisition or generating leads, as we call it, right? So leads are essentially data of consumers who are not yet customers, so they are still prospects, right? So generating leads. Third is increase local sales, which means if you have a physical store, right, we still can use digital marketing to drive footfalls and traffic or sales at a physical store or location. So think of, dentists, or think of all the local services, let's say a florist or a large retail outlet like Big Bazaar, right? They would want people to come to their store. So increased local sales is one outcome that you can get from digital marketing. Fourth is obviously very obvious. E-commerce companies drive online sales. E-commerce is a huge market, not just in India, but globally, right? We are not even 1/100th of the e-commerce market that is there in China, right? So China is the largest e-commerce market which is there. Alibaba, they did a sale of, I think, close to $38 billion on singles day, which is 11/11/11, right? So they did a sale of $38 billion in a single day. That's how much people are buying online, right? And we've just reached the tip of the iceberg when it comes to e-commerce in India. Most of us would be using e-commerce to make purchases of all the goods that we need today, since most of us are working from home. And finally, we use digital marketing. If you have your app, we use digital marketing to promote the app, which means to get downloads for the app or to get people to engage with the app, right? We are living in a mobile first world. Somewhere in 2012, in uh, uh, you know, somewhere in 2012, India was actually the first country where the number of users who were accessing the internet from mobile devices was much higher than the number of users who were accessing the internet from desktops and laptops, right? The second country where that happened was Turkey, right? So I'm getting a lot of disturbance. If you could just mute. Thanks, God. We're using, mobile phones, and we are living in a mobile first world. Uh, it doesn't mean that every company, every brand, every business needs to have a mobile app, right? Because there can be only so many mobile apps on your phone. But there is also a saying that goes, there is an app for that, right? Which means that whatever you might set out to do, there would be some app either on the Play Store or iOS Store that will help you achieve whatever you are setting out to do, right? Let's say if you need to relax yourself, there's an app called Calm, right? If you need to be reminded to drink water, again, there is an app for that, which will help you to set reminders for drinking or consuming water on a daily basis, right? So there are apps for almost each and everything that we do in our life. So these are the 5 different areas, just to get slightly detailed and give some examples of how digital actually helps in terms of brand awareness. Brand awareness is essentially getting people to know what your business does and being the first business they think of when they need what you have to sell, right? So if I ask you the question, you can use chat to uh, respond. What is the first business that comes to your mind when I talk wedding clothes? Yes, can you type? This is the first business that comes to your mind when I say wedding clothes. Manyavar, Mintra, Manyavar, Raymond, Manyavar, right? So a lot of people are saying Manyavar because they have been doing a lot of ads, not just on television, but also on digital, uh, where they have created a top of mind recall, right? What if I ask you adhesive, which is the first company that you think of when it comes to adhesive? Yes, Fevicol. Absolutely, right? So why Fevicol? Because they have been building their brand over a period of time, right? And digital actually, I would not say that it's at the forefront of brand building, but uh, on digital, brands are using contextual advertising or contextual targeting to promote their products or their service on platforms where their target audience or consumers are present. For example, here you can see there is Netflix who's promoting on Swiggy, and so is Great Learning, which is promoting its online courses on Swiggy, right? And the communication is very contextual to the platform, which is your red hot serving is here, right? So which is the copy that is used to promote Sacred Games, or your food is on the way, how about some career success for dessert, right? So that is again contextual advertising or branding on digital. There is also Standard Chartered that, to promote one of its fellowship programs, they had done a video and targeted specific people on Facebook, right? So you can reach out to very specific audience and build your brand through contextual communication on digital. Second purpose, like we said, is to generate leads, which means people who already know about your business, your product or service. We want them to showcase interest, that they are interested in buying your product or service, right? So interest is essentially filling out a form, or saying, visiting a website or an app and engaging with the content on the app, or engaging with the content on the website, right? And filling out the details. So uh, interest is essentially capturing information about your prospects. They might not be your customers as of yet, right? This is again one of the diagnostic chains in Mumbai, Pune, Goa. Uh, so again, this is an ad on Facebook where we will target people, let's say, in and around an area, and if they need to get a health checkup, then they can click on the ad, go to the book now, click on the book now button. They'll be taken to a page where they showcase their interest, right? They fill out a form saying that, yes, I need to take a health checkup, or they might also call on a specific number. Here you can see that there is a specific number 022617000099, right? This is a number which we had created specific to only Facebook ads. So there was a different number that we used on Google ads. There was a different number that we used on other forms of digital advertising, right? And we could essentially track the number of inquiries or the number of leads that were generated by the incoming calls. So it's not just necessary that lead generation means that someone clicks on an ad, goes to a website or to an app and fills out their data. It can also be people from digital platforms actually calling your customer service teams and inquiring about your products and services, right? So one way of making sure that, or trying to understand that digital works for you, is to have a separate dial in or call in number that is there on your website or is showcased on different ads. You'll be able to much better track leads that are generated from the digital platform, right? Why to call to action? So uh, Milind says, why are we allowing the customer to call as well as to go to a website, right? It's simply because of the nature of the business. It's a health checkup, so people might not want to fill out their details. They'd rather talk to someone, right? Because it's something related to their health. So maybe they might be, not wanting to disclose information. And secondly, people who might be working, they are in office, they cannot make a call. So they will click on the book now button and then they'll schedule an appointment maybe at a later date, right? So it's just for convenience sake that we should provide as many call to actions or ways for a consumer to reach out to a brand, right? Third is local sales and footfalls, right? Which is essentially driving footfalls to your brick and mortar store by reaching out to people in the neighborhood or in the vicinity of your physical store. And how does digital marketing do that? Digital marketing can achieve this goal by simply targeting mobile devices that are in a particular radius, right? So using digital or mobile marketing, you can actually target devices in a particular circle of a particular operator, right? In and around a specific radius. So, platforms such as Google allows you to target people who are at an airport. Platforms like Facebook allow you to do a radius targeting in and around a specific area that will help you to drive local sales, right? So this is one of the Facebook ad for a local grocery store in the United States called Jasper's Market, right? And in the Facebook ad itself, they have placed a link to the map, right? So if someone is on their phone and you see an ad from Jasper's Market, you can directly click on the map and get driving directions to that destination, right? So From digital, you're essentially driving traffic offline to your physical store. Fourth, like I said, drive online sales, which is essentially e-commerce. Get relevant customers, right? Bring relevant customers to the website and create the right path to purchase, right? We'll talk about what path to purchase is, but essentially make it, what I'm trying to say is make it easier for a consumer to buy your product through an e-commerce website, right? For most of the e-commerce purchases, the consumers have some preconceived notions, or they know what they want to buy, right? There are very few window shoppers online, but there are people who know that, hey, I want to buy, let's say, a white shirt, right? And that's why I'll go to Google and search for buy white shirt online. Or maybe if I know that, Myntra has the best collection of white shirts, I'll go to myntra.com and then search for white shirts there, and then go ahead and make that purchase, right? So the time between when someone decides to make a purchase and when someone makes a purchase, right? That is the path to purchase, and that path to purchase for an e-commerce store or online sales is very short, as opposed to, let's say, if you want to buy a automobile, you're going to take maybe 2 months, 3 months to decide on which vehicle you want to buy before you'll do a lot of online research for that. If you are going for an international vacation, then again, you'll do a lot of research for that on TripAdvisor, on multiple airline booking sites where you're getting good deals and so on. And then you'll decide to go ahead and, book your vacation or your tickets, right? But when it comes to e-commerce sales, it's much more, the path to purchase is quite shorter, right? This is again a Facebook ad for one website that sells children's clothes, right? So if you visit that site and let's say you added some products to your basket, then you will be able to purchase these products from the site, right? So these products show up in a Facebook ad. Just give me one. Sorry, that was my daughter who came to inform me that it's raining heavily outside. It's contextual because we are talking about kids' clothes. So, this is again an ad from an e-commerce store that shows up on Facebook. Again, it's a remarketing ad, which means that if you have visited an e-commerce site and you've added some products to your cart, but you've not purchased them, right? So it will show the same products via an integration. It will show the same products in an ad on Facebook, right? So which will help you to drive incremental sales for people who have interacted with your brand, right? Finally, promoting your app, which is essentially whether you have a gaming app or you have a productivity app, whichever app you have, you want to use digital marketing to increase usage as well as increase new users, right? So app downloads can be one objective, and second is if you have app downloads, then get more people to stay engaged on the app and get more people to use the app, right? This is again one of the app which we had created called the Fit Mom Project, right? Which had exercises, right? And again, we used Facebook ads. This is a Facebook ad which was created. We used Facebook ads for getting downloads for the app, right? I'm going to take a very simple example here. Let's say all of us today here decide that we want to start, let's say, an electric car or a battery operated electric car company, right? We want to start an electric car company in Mumbai, right? And Mumbai is our first primary target market, right? What is it that you will do on digital, or what would be your objectives for digital marketing if you are starting this electric car company today? What would be your objectives for starting this electric car company? Yes, anyone can type in what would be your business if we are starting this electric car company today. What would be your business objectives? I can't see anyone typing that down. Increase sales. We've just launched today. Brand awareness and sales. Okay, right? So obviously, let's call this company as Greenleaf Motor Company, right? So we will first define, when it comes to digital marketing, uh, we need to understand the why for our business, right? We need to understand why we are doing digital marketing in the first place, right? So in this case, let's call our company Greenleaf Motor Company, right? And we are doing digital marketing to generate brand awareness and generate leads. Leads might later on obviously translate to sales or to more customers, right? Now, for generating brand awareness, obviously we need to deploy certain digital marketing tactics. Similarly, for generating leads, we might have to deploy certain digital marketing tactics, right? So what are these? These are nothing but, in digital marketing lingo, we call it goals, right? So goals are nothing but specific tactics or strategies that you will leverage to accomplish your business objectives, right? You always think of goals as increase or decrease, or increase or reduce X by doing something, by doing Y, right? So let's say for the Greenleaf Motor Company, we want to increase leads by doing XYZ, right? We want to increase brand awareness by doing Y, right? So what are the different things here that we will do? Let's say for our organization, for brand awareness, we want to increase social media reach, right? So to create brand awareness, we want to increase social media reach by deploying XYZ social media marketing techniques or strategies, right? We want to increase traffic to our newly created website by doing SEO, or by doing social media marketing, by doing Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever it is. We want to increase influencer engagement by partnering with the right set of micro influencers, so that we build awareness among our exact target audience. For lead generation, we want to increase the conversion rate. What is conversion rate? Conversion rate is essentially, let's say if 100 people come to Greenleaf Motor Company website, and 10 of these 100 people actually fill out a form and give their data to us. Let's say they fill out the form saying that they are interested in taking a test drive of our car, right? So in this case, the conversion rate is 10%. 10 divided by 100. 10 people filled out the test drive form. 100 people came to the website. So the conversion rate for test drive is 10%, right? So when it comes to lead generation, what do we want to do? We want to increase the conversion rate by doing these multiple things, by having a test drive page on a website, by maybe launching a survey, by creating contests or offers, right? Or by creating a digital brochure of the car. And for those who want to download that brochure or the specifications, right, we again, capture their information in terms of their name, email ID, phone number, whatever it is, and we get them to download that brochure, right? So these are the two objectives, and then there are two business objectives, then there are tactics, right? Now, digital marketing is the most measurable form of marketing that exists, right? Because you can measure each and everything. You can be maniacal in terms of measuring each and every customer touch point or customer engagement that you have, right? You can measure in terms of fan base. You can measure how many people follow you on Instagram, how many people follow you on Twitter, how many people follow you on YouTube, right? What's your number of people who like you on Facebook, right? So you can measure that. From those people who follow you or like you, how many of them actually engage with your page or with your social media content on a day-to-day basis. So you can measure, how many people are clicking on your Facebook posts or how many people are clicking on your Instagram posts, right? So you can measure that. From the number of people who are clicking on your post, you can measure how many people actually came to your website, right? From social media. And on your website using Google Analytics, you can measure how many people actually went out and filled a test drive form or filled out a lead form, how many then converted to customers, right? So the entire funnel, right from someone being aware about your business, right, to someone actually filling out a form and being a prospect, to them converting to a customer, you can measure that entire online journey of a customer, right? In this case, we have taken two goals, which is one is build brand awareness, second is to generate leads, right? So how will you build brand awareness? You will build brand awareness by increasing your social media reach or building your fan base, or by driving additional traffic or relevant traffic to your website, right? How will you generate leads? You will generate leads by improving the conversion rates or getting more people to apply for a car loan, right? Again, they have to share their details here, right? So for each of these goals, there should be a way to measure these goals, right? And the way to measure these goals is called key performance indicators. But before we go to key performance indicators, right, these are, some of the tactics or digital tactics or things that you need to have on your website to achieve your business objectives, right? So for brand awareness, if you are focused on brand awareness, then you should focus on using video content, have a YouTube channel, then you should use podcasts to create thought leadership, then you should have blogs about whatever products or services you're selling. If you need to generate leads, then you need to have landing pages on your website which have forms. You need to have a chat bot where your prospects can engage with your customer service team and provide you that data. You can have different tools such as calculators. So for our company, we can have, let's say, an EMI calculator or a fuel efficiency calculator on our website, right? Most financial websites, let's say, mutual fund companies have SIP calculator, right? So to use that SIP calculator, maybe you have to enter the email ID. And once you enter the email ID, right, you will get the results of the SIP calculator, right? So they are capturing your data by creating these different digital tools. For local sales, you on your website or within your app, you can type in their pin. Or if there is a phone number for the local store, then they will call that local store, right? Have the for online sales, obviously you need to have an e-commerce website, so have a payment gateway, make it e-commerce enabled. For your app, you need to maybe to get more downloads for your app or to get more engagement on your app, maybe you need to have a link to the app on your website, right? If you have a app on the Play Store or iOS store, you can link it from your website, right? Or there should be a way where the customers can receive the link to the app either via SMS or email, right? So these are different tactics to achieve your business objectives or goals, right? But all these tactics need to be measured from a digital marketing perspective. That's where key performance indicators come into the picture, right? What are key performance indicators? They are nothing but metrics that help you to understand how you are doing against your business objectives, right? So you might have different business objectives, brand awareness. Then the metric that you will use to measure brand awareness can be, or maybe traffic that you're getting to your website or your app. For lead generation, you can use number of leads or contacts, or it's a number of valid contacts that you've been able to generate in a month or a week. For local sales, how many calls have been made to a local number, or how many people have visited your local store using an coupon code that you shared, let's say either via a Facebook ad or on your website, right? For online sales, obviously you'll measure the number of sales or transactions that you're getting, and on an average, how much are people purchasing? What is the value of their cart, right? What is the average cart size? Obviously, you will measure a lot of these things. Promote your app, you will want to measure the number of app installs or downloads. You will want to measure daily active users, or you will want to measure monthly active users, right? So for our organization, which we have created, right, Greenleaf Motor Company, for measuring build fan base, I am going to measure the total reach on social media platforms, right? For measuring new users, I'm going to measure the visits or visitors who have come to my website. For improving conversion rate, I will keep a tab on the conversion rate metrics across, different pages, right? So just to summarize, and I'll take a pause here and open the floor for some questions, right? First, when it comes to digital marketing, why you are doing digital marketing, you need to define three things. You need to define what your business objectives are. Why does your website exist? Or what are the three most important priorities for your app or for your business or for your website, right? Then second, you need to define the specific tactics to achieve your business objectives, right? So if I say my business objective is lead generation, what are the different tactics that you will deploy using digital marketing to generate more leads, right? And then third, how will you measure this lead generation, right? So let's say I want to sell 100 cars, right, in the first year. If I want to sell 100 cars, and let's say I know the conversion rate for automobile industry is 10%, which means I need to generate 1,000 leads on my website, right? I need to generate 1,000 leads from my website. So to generate 1,000 leads, let's say the conversion rate of visit to lead is again 10%, which means I need to get 10,000 people to my website, right? So if I get 10,000 people to my website, 10% of those will fill out a form, let's say the test drive form. So I've got 1,000 leads. From those 1,000 people who have taken a test drive, I know that 100 people will buy a car, right? So to get 100 sales, I will have to drive 10,000 people to my website, and I can drive these 10,000 people from different digital channels where my target audiences are present, right? So for example, for our business, Greenleaf Motor Company, I did a search on, you can do this market sizing search. All you have to do is go to Google Trends, right? Go to Google Trends and you'll be taken to the India site, right? Let's say I search for, electric car. Which states or which cities in India are searching for an electric car? So you can see here that there is high demand in Daman, Goa, Gujarat, Kerala for electric cars. If I, switch this to city, you'll be able to see that again, city in Gujarat, in Mumbai, Gujarat, Delhi NCR, right? Thane again in Maharashtra, right? So Pimpri Chinchwad, which is Pune, right? So Maharashtra, I would say, is a good market if you want to start, or Gujarat is a good market if you want to start with selling your electric cars, right? So you'll use Google Trends to kind of understand where are people searching for, right? And then, you will define what is your target audience, right? So if you have to create a Facebook ad, you will say that I will target people only in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane initially, because there seems to be latent interest for people who are searching for an electric car. They might come to my website. From that, they might take a test drive. From that, they might become our customers, right? So that is what. Yes. So I will share this, Praveen, the tools, etc., which I use. There are a few worksheets which I've created for this workshop, and I'll be giving access to these worksheets also, which I've created, right? So be rest assured you'll get complete value after the next 2 hours, right? So, this is again another digital marketing measurement model which I've created, right? A fancy name for how to measure your business using digital marketing for a hospital. Let's say we call it care hospital, right? Again, for care hospital, you need to generate brand awareness. You need to get appointment bookings. For getting appointment bookings, you will need to have, let's say, a chat bot or inquiries via chat. You need to have maybe a phone number, right, where people can call you, and you can measure each of these aspects, right? Number of chats per month or number of contacts generated from the chats per month, right? You need to have a book appointment form or a book appointment engine where customers or potential customers can go fill out the date of the appointment, the type of physician or the doctor they want to meet, time of the day when they want to meet. They can go ahead and book that appointment. If a slot is available, they'll be able to do that, right? So you need a appointment booking engine, which is one of the digital tactics that you deploy. And the way you'll measure it is number of valid appointment bookings that you've generated in a given period, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, or whether it's a month, right? So I will, one more example. This is, and then I'll pause, open the floor for some questions. So this example is of Decathlon, right? So if Decathlon is a business that has both an e-commerce website and they also have an offline store, right? So one of the objectives, let's say we say objective is to increase sales for Decathlon, right? How will we increase sales? We will increase sales if we improve the conversion rate, or if we increase the average order size, or increase the customer spend per order. By doing both of these, we will be able to impact sales, right? So for measuring this goal, for conversion rate, I'm going to measure conversion rate. And for increasing customer spend per order, I'm going to measure average order value, right? Then just ignore the segment piece for now, then come to target, right? Let's say, the current month, let's say May is the current month, the conversion rate is 1.72%, which means for every 100 people, let's say, who visit the e-commerce website of Decathlon, close to 2 people actually buy from them, right? And you can keep a target that I want to shift this conversion rate from 1.72% to maybe 2% or 3%, whatever it is, right? Or in May, the average order value is, let's say, $83. I want to shift this average order value from $83 to $93, right? What are the different digital tactics I am going to use to increase my, average order value, right? That is how you will measure your business on digital, right? So before we move on to the next topic, maybe we'll take questions for 5 minutes. Any questions we have? Yes. Any questions? No questions on chat, or if anyone wants to speak, ask any questions. I hope whatever I'm speaking is making sense. Otherwise, please stop me if nothing is making sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mandar, I think I
Yes.
had one simple question. Like,
Yes.
when we run the ads, there's a lot of spending that goes in. Is there any way to, increase organic reach of our, of our brand or startup without spending too much on ads? Like, just a question so
again, yeah, so there is, obviously you will have to spend, nothing comes for free, I would say. So even if you have to do SEO and get organic traffic to your website, you will still have to hire an SEO specialist and pay that person, right? For SEO to work, you will have to create a ton of content. You will have to write blogs. You'll have to maybe hire a content writer. You'll have to create videos on YouTube, for which you'll have to need a content team, right? So for that, there is obviously cost involved, right? Although, it's a misnomer to say that organic is free and paid is when you're paying money, right? irrespective on digital, you will have to hire the right resources and invest some time and effort, right? Now, when we are talking about internet traffic blueprint, in the next 20-30 minutes, we will talk about which channels you might want to use to get faster traffic, more conversions at a lower cost, right? So I'll answer that slightly later, but for now, let me just say that, nothing is for free. uh, organic growth will take time, right? So if you want instant growth, you want instant leads today, you will have to spend. If you want, you're ready to wait for growth and want to build it organically, like let's say Airbnb built their business organically, right? Through SEO, which means they got more and more people to list their house on Airbnb. And once they started listing their houses, there were new pages that were created. Consumers started discovering Airbnb, they started booking, they referred their friends, right? But Rome was not built in a day. And it takes time for uh, driving organic traffic or getting growth on organic traffic, right? So for a startup, I would still say that there should be a mix between short-term focus and long-term focus when it comes to growth, right? So in the long term, there should be some spend towards building that organic traffic or building that brand organically. And in the short term, there should be X percentage of spend that goes towards paid advertising, right? It's not either or, it is both that will work for a startup, right? So whatever funds you have, you'll have to judiciously divide it between long-term initiative and short-term initiatives and put some money in paid ads, right? I hope I answered your question. How to keep the user engaged? Obviously, there are different digital tactics and strategies. We'll talk about those. I have an example. Devika will talk about user engagement and ways of keeping the user on our platform. We'll talk. What is average organic download? What is the average organic downloads an app gets when it's compared to paid downloads? If there is no industry standard for that, Milind, it changes from industry to industry. Actually, there is no. There'll be something known as nanny, APPNANNY, and there are other tools that are available that will give you these statistics. But I would say 20 to 30% is organic, rest is paid, right? If you've just launched your app, so you might get 20 to 22, maybe 25% organic downloads, rest would have to be paid. And once you build your brand, people will then start searching for your app on the Play Store, right? That's when you will actually start tilting the metric from paid downloads to organic downloads, right? So it will not happen overnight. It will happen maybe over 6 months, 1 year. When you have built your brand, when you have spent some amount of money on digital branding or online branding, right, through video, etc., people know about your brand. That's when they'll go to the Play Store without clicking on your ad, search for your app and download it, right? Maybe that's what's happening in today's time. Why is Cred doing ads during the IPL, or why is Cred doing ads on television? They are doing ads to build that brand awareness. So people actually go to the Play Store or iOS store and search for Cred, download it, right? They didn't click on a digital ad, but they were aware of the brand. That's why they went ahead and downloaded that app, right? So again, to your question, there is no data available. Initially, you might get at the max maybe 20-25% organic. Rest should be paid or would be paid. Is it okay to share tools for each item so that any startup can use? I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do that right away. I'm actually compiling a list. There is another IIT Bombay executive program that is happening, and it might get over in a couple of months. So during the course of the program, I'm compiling a list, and whenever that list is ready, I'll share that with the WIE team, and they'll share it. So it might not come soon from me, but I'll try. Yeah, great. Should we move ahead, everyone? Any questions? Great.
Yes, Mandar, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So one point is, when we look at media, there are so many platforms. How does one choose the right platform for so that it reaches the right target? So even if we are
Yeah.
spending, let's say,
You have
hmm,
actually preempted what we are going to discuss. So in the next 15-20
okay,
minutes, I'll cover choosing the right platform and right
all
channel
right,
for digital marketing. So we'll get to that.
all right,
Among digital and
all
social
right.
media marketing, which comes first and why? So I would say, Vikash, social media marketing is one form of digital marketing. Digital and social is not different or mutually exclusive. Actually, social media marketing is just one part or component of digital media marketing. Again, it depends on the business whether someone should use social media or SEO or other channel. We'll talk about that in the time to come. I also hear a lot about content marketing. Should we really go there? Yes, we're going to discuss content marketing as we talk about the buyer's online journey, right? So let's just talk about how consumers, uh, find your business today, right? How many of you made an online purchase from a brand or a website that you had not heard earlier, and you purchased from them for the first time, right? How many of you here, is there anyone who can give me an example of purchasing from a brand or a website which you had not heard before, right? You still went ahead and made that purchase. Anyone? Could be anything.
I recently bought a packet of tea bags from a brand I didn't know about before, because their content was really good on their website, and it was really good. I mean, very informative.
Okay, so you got tea bags. May I know the brand?
I think it was tea. What was it? It was Tea Mantra or something. A Delhi-based startup, I guess. Yeah.
Great. Minin also says that he purchased a Dell keyboard searching online based on reviews, right? Could not find it on Amazon or Flipkart or anywhere else. So found some brand that was selling computer accessories, right? And then you went ahead and purchased or got that Dell keyboard from that new website, right? So obviously before you went ahead and purchased, you went through this journey uh, in your mind or online, right? You thought that, okay, I want to make this purchase. Where should I go and research? Then I went online or on an app, did some research. Then I went ahead and bought that product. So that is known as the customer journey or the path to purchase. And this path to purchase is relevant on digital for any business that is there, right? Every customer actually, whether they want to buy something, right, or they're researching something, they go through the path to purchase journey, which includes 3 steps: awareness, consideration, and conversions, right? ACC. Awareness is where you don't know about the brand, right? So you're searching or research, you're in research mode, you find that brand online, right? Now, where all do you find brands online? You might find brands online while you are searching on Google, you come across a link to their website, right? You are on Facebook, you're maybe just browsing through Facebook, and ad shows up in your feed, and you get to know about the brand, right? So like this, Tea Mantra brand, which Sukanya found maybe through her Facebook ad, right? Clicked on it, went to the website, right? So let's say, you wanted to get tea bags. So you ended up going to an e-commerce site which had 10 different brands that were selling tea bags, right? And then you went through a consideration phase where you, in your mind, you actually did a lot of calculations. You considered price. What is the price comparison? You considered quality. You considered brand, whether this is a known brand or not. You considered maybe reviews. You considered how much time it would take for this to be shipped to your doorstep. Maybe the need was immediate, right? You considered whether it was a local brand or not, right? Because let's say some people want to support local businesses. So you took into consideration multiple things, and based on that, you made one choice that, hey, I want to go ahead with this brand because of XYZ reasons, right? Then you went to the website or to an aggregator site and you actually filled out a lead, you became their customer, right? So whether it's a physical photo studio, a cupcake shop, someone who's selling jeans online, right? For every customer who's buying something, they'll go through this entire journey, right? And this journey is known as the marketing funnel, right? Again, awareness, consideration, and conversion can be mapped in marketing terms, right? So awareness, consideration, and conversion is something that you look at it from the consumer's lens. If I'm looking at it from the marketer's lens, I'm looking at attracting the right customer to my website, engaging with the customer, and obviously once they have become your customer, delighting them by creating a great experience, right? uh, for let's say Greenleaf Motor Company, right, we might attract the right customer or consumer or the prospect in Mumbai by doing Facebook ads, by having a mobile app, by having a website, by doing SEO for our website, by using Google My Business, where we can go and list our showrooms, right? From through multiple channels, we'll attract the right customer who's searching for our business online. Once they come to our website, let's say they come to greenleafmotorcompany.in, we will have different elements on our site that will engage with the user. Maybe we'll have a chat bot, we'll have an EMI calculator, we'll have, let's say, a fuel efficiency calculator, we'll have a test drive booking form, we might have a 360-degree video of the car, right, where you can walk in and you can actually experience the car virtually online, right? So you'll engage with the prospect till they give you their information, right? So let's say someone is now interested in getting this car, they might subscribe to our newsletter, they might go ahead and fill out the test drive form, right? They might go and use the EMI calculator. So I'll get them engaged over a period of time, right? Again, depends on the buying cycle. So for e-commerce, you need instant engagement. You need instant elements on your sites that will engage the user and convert them, right? Whereas for an automobile site, you might require engagement over a period of 2 months, 3 months to actually keep your audience engaged, right? And then once they become your customer, we might want to delight them. How will we delight them? We'll delight them by basically offering, let's say, an after sales service app, right? It's an electric car we've launched. As a customer, you get to download this app, you feed in your details, right? It gives you notifications. Let's say when the battery needs to be changed, it gives you notifications when you need to service your car, right, or take it to the service station. So you will create, or it gives you blogs or information that will help you to increase the battery life of the car, right? So that is after sales service, right? So we are essentially creating content for not just attracting the right users to our website or to our app, but we are also creating content to delight the existing customers who are there with us, right? One of you have written to me that you opted for dry clean services for your blazer, right? This was a company which I had not heard about in Maharashtra, right? So you search for dry clean services, right? And then you maybe found that company or app or brand online. You took their service, you became their customer, there was some delight, and maybe they did more digital marketing to make you a loyal customer, right? Uh, so essentially this funnel, attract, engage, delight, is broken down into two parts, right? Attract is where digital marketing lies, right? Engage is where sales component lies, and delight is where customer engagement, customer satisfaction, all of those aspects of digital marketing lie, right? let's say again, I'm just going to give you some examples of attract, engage, and delight, right? So, let's say you search for an electric scooter in Mumbai, right? One second. Just give me a minute. So you search for an electric scooter in Mumbai on Google, right? And you found a lot of listings. You found a listing on OLX. You found atherenergy.com, which is selling electric bikes. You found a website known as DriveSpark, which is a blog site, right? So at the top of the funnel, which is the attract, right? At the top of the funnel on Google, you also maybe found some, businesses near you that are selling electric bikes, right? You found, let's say, a website called bikewale.com, which has a listing of electric bikes. You maybe visited ather.com or atherenergy.com, which again is selling their scooter, right? So how did you discover them? Because they had optimized their website for appearing in search results, right? So once you found a business online, right, you did more research, right? So obviously you visited, let's say on one tab, you visited Ather, on the other tab, you visited Hero Electric, right? And you are also on social media, on Facebook, you are just browsing, right? And then you also happen to read a blog which says, best electric bike models or whatever available in India, right? So that there was a blog which kind of gave a comparison of the different electric, bikes that were available, right? Also, maybe at the very bottom of the funnel, you actually changed your keywords. You are now closer to making a purchase. So you went and searched for best electric scooter to buy. And when you made that search, it had a buy intent in the search, right? So that's when the brand started showing you an ad. This is a TVS Ntorq ad, which is shown in the search results on Google. Or on the right hand side on Google, you can see, although the results are not that relevant, you are searching for, let's say, scooter, but you also got some other electric scooters, right? Or bicycles, right? Or hoverboards or segways, right? But there are two ads from Yulu and PP Infinity Vespa, right? Which were two electric bike or electric scooter ads, which were also shown in the funnel, right? So what is attract? Attract is essentially to get the right customers to your app or your website, right? With relevant content. Means to attract the right customers on digital marketing, you need to have the right content on different channels or platforms, right? At the right time, which means contextual content creation, right? Like you saw the Netflix ad or you saw Great Learnings ad, you need to have the right content or advertising shown at the right time, which is when someone was, let's say, ordering food, right? And to the right customers, you showed relevant content. That's what you will get. That's how you will actually get more people to, or more relevant consumers to come to your website. Second is engage. Engage is essentially building conversations and using conversation tools to capture information of the prospects. What is capture information of the prospects? It means that you want to get their email ID, phone number, whatever it is, right? And then using that to personalize their website or app experience, right? I'm not sure Cred does it to some extent. They personalize the app, right? So based on, your purchases made on your credit card, it will show relevant offers within the app, right? So that is personalizing the app experience using smart content, right? Of based on the data captured of the users, right? Amazon does a great job with personalization. So if you visit amazon.in, the homepage and the products that you will see on the homepage will be different for me, and the products that you see on the homepage will be different for you, right? The simple reason is because Amazon, let's say you're logged into Amazon, and Amazon has your data, and they had built a lot of conversion and conversation tools earlier where they captured your information, and now they are personalizing that experience for you so that they keep you engaged. They provide you a great experience when it comes to shopping. And third is delighting your customers, which in digital terms is aligning your sales and service team members, right? So basically, the sales team, people who spoke to the prospects, they talk to the service team, and you're creating contextual conversations with people with whom you do business with, right? Which means people who have become your consumers, let's say on Amazon, right? You will see that, you purchase, let's say, uh, diapers, right? You purchase diapers for your toddler, right? And you get an email in your inbox saying that people like, others who purchase diapers, this is also a relevant product, right, for your toddler, right? So you might build that contextual conversation with people based on data, right? Or there will be someone from the service team who will call you and guide you through making the next purchase, right? So again, a lot of online e-commerce sites or travel sites, Make My Trip does that a lot, right? What Make My Trip does is, if you have, let's say, purchased a ticket from their site earlier, right, and you've gone back to the site, right, you've, let's say, selected Mumbai to Delhi, but for some reason you abandon the purchase of the flight ticket. Someone from Make My Trip will call you because they have your number, right? And they'll create a contextual conversation with you, stating that, hey, you were trying to book Mumbai Delhi, I have a deal for you since you have been a customer with us for a long time, right? Same thing with, let's say, Zomato Gold or now Zomato Pro, right? For people who used to book restaurants or order food from Zomato, they have their complete history of food ordering. And based on the food ordering history, they created Zomato Pro for people, where they said that, I will tailor this for you and give a discount for you at specific hotels or restaurants, right? Because you have been frequenting those recently, right? So the hotels or restaurants that will appear in your Zomato Pro listing might be slightly different than those which will appear for someone else, right? So again, that is personalizing the app experience based on data that they have from the consumers, right? So entire objective of digital marketing is to drive traffic or contextual or relevant traffic to your website or app. Once they are at your website or app, whether it is through social media, email marketing, search engines, different portals such as ESPN, Cricinfo, Rediff, MSN, Yahoo, whatever those may be, you want to get or capture their information, which is leads, and then you want to engage with these leads to convert them to customers, right? This is essentially known as conversion optimization in digital, which is a key or a core component of digital marketing, right? So here you can see that you can use display ads, search engine marketing, video ads, social media marketing, email marketing. From all these different sources, you will drive traffic to your website or app, which is the top of the sales funnel, right? If I break this into three parts, I will call this as the light gray part as tofu or top of funnel. I'll call the middle of the funnel as mofu, MOFU, and I'll call the last part, the lower part of the funnel as bofu or bottom of the funnel, right? So it is optimizing this sales funnel for the consumer so that more and more people who come to your website, the more traffic you get, more of them actually flow out to the funnel as buyers, right? The entire objective of digital marketing and conversion optimization is A, get relevant people to your website and improve the conversion rates of your website, whether it's a B2B website, whether it's a publisher site, or it's an e-commerce website, right? All of these websites have a sales funnel, and your objective is to drive them from the attract stage to the engage stage to the delight stage, right? Uh, if I, look at this funnel from a consumer or a prospect's perspective, right? When they visit your app or website, they will not directly buy from you. They will first go to your about page. If it's a new brand or website from which you're buying, you will go and visit the about page of that company to know whether it's a genuine organization or not. What do you do is the first thing that a consumer will look at. Second thing they'll look at is, why should I care, right? What's in it for me, right? And then third is, you need to create that trust factor. How do I believe you, right? So you'll have, let's say, a secured website. You will have a well-known payment gateway on the site. You will have customer testimonials, other people who have bought from you, right? That will actually help people, or reviews on your site, which will help people to believe in you. And only once people have that trust established sales funnel, and they will start their journey of actually making a purchase from a digital brand. The second concept, when it comes to digital marketing, that is relevant, is creating a sense of scarcity and urgency when it comes to conversion optimization, right? So you want to, drive people through the funnel. You want to drive them from different sources through the funnel and convert them to customers, right? For which scarcity and urgency is two factors of human psychology, which are very important when it comes to digital marketing, right? So can someone tell me which website is this screenshot taken from? Anyone? Which website do you think this screenshot is taken from? WiE is incorrect. Any other?
Make My Trip?
Rivago, Make My Trip is incorrect. This is actually from booking.com, right? Booking.com, they are the masters of scarcity and urgency creation, right? So you can see here the black arrow, only 4 rooms left. This is a scarcity play which is there, right? So you can see, scarcity is always denoted using a number, right? So if you put a number, let's say only 70 seats left on the webinar, limited to 100 seats, right? Only 4 rooms left, only 2 seats left on a flight, right? Most of the e-commerce companies, most of the digital marketing companies, most of the online businesses, whether it's a B2B business or whether it's an e-commerce business, if you create a sense of scarcity and urgency, right? Urgency in terms of time, right? So seats filling fast. If you book your webinar seat, let's say before 12 midnight on 25th, only then you will get free access to the webinar, right? So for this webinar itself, in the message that was sent out, there was a sense of urgency which was created, right? Saying that, only it was not fully created, but to some extent there was a time that was given, right? When you had to register for this webinar, right? So that is creating urgency. When it comes to digital scenario, you can, kind of be manipulative, or you can actually show it real time, that only 2 hours remaining, only 1 hour remaining, only 15 minutes remaining, right? So just to give you an example, one more example, you can go search for here.com. Here.com is a hearing aid company, right? You can see that they are offering a free consultation for understanding, which hearing aid might be suitable for you. And you can see here that once I loaded this page, it is showing me only 18 slots left, which means on a daily basis, they would be having some number of free consultation slots. So for me to fill up this form or get started, it is creating that sense of scarcity, right, for me, so that I go ahead and actually fill out this form, right? So for an e-commerce website, what happens? How do you get traffic, or how do you drive traffic through the sales funnel, right? So people on an e-commerce website, you usually have, this is a structure of an e-commerce website. You'll have a home page on the top. You'll have category pages. For example, let's say Myntra.com, you have men's shirts, or women's clothes, right? So these are different categories of pages. Under the category pages, you will have product pages, right? So you'll have white shirt, you'll have blue shirt, red shirt, or Raymond shirts, or whatever shirt pages, right? And if someone likes the product, they will add it to their cart, right? Sometimes you might abandon the cart. Sometimes you might be just in research mode. So you might just look at the product, and the same product you might go and search on Flipkart or Amazon and look at the price of the product there. So you might even exit from the product pages, right? But essentially, as a digital marketer for any website, you're driving traffic to different sections of the website, right? And your role is to drive people to get them to do whatever they want to do, right? In this case, it's purchase a product. So take them to the cart checkout page and then to the thank you page, so that they, at some point become your customers, right? So again, this is how does then digital marketing help or work, right? Digital marketing will help for an e-commerce company or a B2B company or whichever company, right? Whether you're using Facebook to drive traffic, Google, Pinterest, Instagram, email marketing, retargeting, anything that you do to drive traffic, you have to drive traffic not to a sales page, but you have to drive traffic to a pre-sales page, right? What is a pre-sales page? A pre-sales page is a page on your website that solves a problem for your customer, right? A blog on your website can be a pre-sales page, right? For example, let's say, again, going back to our example of electric car, right? Uh, so let's say there is a blog on your website which says 5 reasons for you to choose an electric car in 2021, right? And that's a pre-sales page which is addressing maybe different problems that consumers are facing with fuel cars, and how this blog is addressing those problems, right? So you're solving the problem of the customer. Or let's say when it comes to you have a site, let's say it's Nika, right, which is offering beauty products. So instead of taking people to the product purchase page, Nika has created a lot of content on YouTube, right? They have you'll go and see, they have makeup tips, XYZ, blah blah blah, right? So you'll usually first encounter their content, which is nothing but pre-sales. They're trying to solve a problem, provide value to the customer, and from that they might say, hey, by the way, you have read this content or watched this video or listened to our podcast, you might want to go to the category page or the product page to actually go ahead and check out or buy the product, right? So that's how digital marketing works. It will never work if you are only looking at sales, right? Or if you are only looking at lead generation. You will have to solve the problems that your customers are facing through the right content creation. Another example that I always quote is Boom by Cindy Joseph, right? Which is again an e-commerce website. This is run by one guy called Ezra Firestone, right? So Cindy Joseph is no more, and this now website is run by Ezra Firestone. He's an e-commerce specialist, right? So they create, and they have a team, obviously. They create content that is solution specific. So, here they've created a Facebook ad which says 5 makeup tips for older women, right? So they take people to that blog. From the blog, people might go to the product page or look at the specific product, right? So this is the solutions page that they have created. This is the ad on the left, solution page on the right, right? So the ads will take people to the relevant solution page. On the solution page, there is one small link here at the bottom which says her new line, right? And that is what they will use to drive them to the e-commerce store, right? Some people might read the blog and they might exit, right? They might say that hey, I'm not interested in going to your e-commerce store. But we know for sure that these people have come to our blog because they were facing some problem, right? Uh, so how we'll have to capture their intent, right? So if someone is trying to leave maybe you'll show a pop-up banner on the website which says, download this free beauty tips book or ebook, right? So you'll capture their email ID, and then maybe you will offer them a 10% discount, right? And that's what will prompt them to go to the e-commerce store, right? Is it true that digital marketing helps B2C or B2C companies than B2B companies? That is not so correct. I would say digital marketing is for every type of business, right? It's just that the channel will change, or the strategy or approach will change. For example, B2B companies, you will not use maybe Facebook ads, right? Or not use Google ads, because not many people are searching for your product or service. You might resort to LinkedIn marketing. You might resort to creating posts on LinkedIn. You might resort to doing LinkedIn ads, right? So that might be the right channel for you, right? So again, it definitely works for B2B companies. I have actually worked with a ton of B2B companies for which the sales funnel works, right? Sales funnel for a B2B company, the sales funnel will be slightly different, which means let's say you're selling software, right? You obviously want to sell software to a CTO or to a CIO, right? And or to a decision maker at an, let's say, IT company. So that person will first come to your website, look at the software page, look at all the features, schedule a demo, right? Maybe download a white paper, maybe read a case study of other businesses or other companies using your software. So there might require 7 interactions. LinkedIn had done, I think a survey or a research, not a survey, research, where they said that it takes a minimum of 7 different touch points for a B2B company before a visitor becomes a prospect. So someone to even schedule a demo for your software, right? It might take 7 interactions. So these 7 interactions can be different things. It can be an ad that they see on LinkedIn, a post from the founder on LinkedIn. They might visit the website, they might download the app, they might not fill out their details, right? But it will take all these interactions before they actually give you their contact details, right? Also, the sales cycle for a B2B company is much larger, right? So if you want to buy software, there is a high switching cost. So obviously, the research time that someone will spend will be much higher, right? So, the sales cycle is much higher. A link of the LinkedIn survey. Yeah, if I'm able to find that, I'll share that link. If I'm able to find it, I'll share it. Yeah. Yes. So good question, but yes, digital marketing does work, or sales funnels do exist even for B2B company. Coming back to our B2C example, right, which was Boom by Cindy Joseph. They have a lead magnet of you will get, and then there will be also remarketing ads which you will see on Facebook, right? These would be ads targeted to people who have visited your website but they have not purchased from you. They are not yet your customers, but they have engaged with your brand. So again, you can retarget these people, take them to the sales page. You can have an abandoned cart email sequence also, right? Here, like you said, people might go to the cart checkout page, but they might abandon the cart. They might not buy from you, right? So in that case, for those who have abandoned the cart, Boom by Cindy Joseph sends a sequence of emails 4 hours after abandoning, 24 hours, 2 days after abandoning the cart, and so on, right? They also have a post-purchase email sequence, which means if you purchased a product, then they will send a thank you mail, they'll send a further discount, they'll send a survey to capture more information from you and create customer delight, right? Again, all of this can be done through email marketing and other channels, right? So let me just see how we are doing for time. We have 30 more minutes. So any questions before I continue?
How does it works in service sector? Digital marketing in service sector is really tough, and it's very difficult to generate the leads. So what can be done?
So again, if you're providing a service, for example, I have a digital marketing agency, right? So I will create content for my target audience. Who is my target audience? My target audience is brand managers who are searching for an agency or who have a problem, right? Let's say the problem that a brand manager is facing is organic traffic to their website is really poor. It's not working. So maybe I will create a blog on my site which says how to increase organic traffic for an e-commerce website in 6 months, or how to 10x your organic traffic in 6 months, right? Maybe the brand manager will search for this. They might find the blog on Google, come to your website, right? And then they will read the blog. Then they will see, okay, hey, this is from an agency. I was looking out actually for an agency. So they might go to the About Us page. Who's the agency owner? Who's the team? They might then go to the contact page, put in an inquiry. And that's how a lead will be generated, right? So obviously you have to identify your target audience and you have to create content that solves the pain points or problems of your target audience, whether it's a service company or a product company. Creating the right content in the long term will get you incremental leads or customers. So that is, does that help?
Yeah, thank you. But then content creation is again a very specific. I mean, again a very creative job, right? So as an entrepreneur, we cannot create content. That means we'll have to engage someone, and that is like a lot of cost goes into it. So what can be done?
So as an entrepreneur, I'll give it straight. You should be ready to do the dirty work and you should be creating content yourself to start with, right? When I started BriefKase, uh, I had, at its peak, we had around 23 people at BriefKase, but the only person who used to write blogs was me, right? So if you're an entrepreneur and you care about your business, you have to take the onus of creating content initially. Obviously, later on, once you get traction, you can hire a content marketing agency or a freelance content creator, or initially also if you have money you can hire a freelance content creator, but we have to do it, whether you do it or whether someone else does it, that's not the question. It has to be done, right? So as an entrepreneur, I would suggest that you should take small steps. Maybe you're not good at creating video content, maybe you're not good at creating visual content, right? Let's say you're good at writing. So maybe you should just adopt one platform. Let's say you should adopt uh, LinkedIn and put up posts on LinkedIn, right? But you should be at it for a time. You should be at it for 6 months. You should be at it for 1 year. After that, only people will start recognizing that you are creating that content, and then they will engage with your brand or your website, right? Take help of interns. Very good idea, Milind. Obviously you can take help of interns and pay them, let's say 5,000 6,000 a month, and they can create a lot of content, right? Gayatri from on LinkedIn. Gayatri, you can, and everyone here, you can go to, I'm going to give a link to my courses and it's free, right? Go to mandar.thinkific.com. Oops, sorry, I just sent it to one person. Let me just send it to everyone. When will I be organizing hands-on session? That's not up to me. right? So this website, just go to this. There's a course on LinkedIn brand building awareness, right? You can get that course for free, and you can get started. Hands-on session, LP, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग हैंड्स ऑन करेंगे तो मुझे 2 घंटे में नहीं होगा, उसको 20 घंटे या 30 घंटे लगेंगे मिनिमम, कुछ भी हैंड्स ऑन करने के लिए, फेसबुक एड्स, गूगल एड्स, जो भी है. सो हैंड्स ऑन थोड़ा टफ है in a couple of hours session, right? Okay, let's get to the last part, where and then last 15 minutes we'll keep for questions. So I'll just take maybe 10 more minutes of your time, and then we'll keep the rest for questions, right? So how do you choose the right channel, right? So that you need to drive traffic to your website, and once you drive traffic to your website, you need to optimize your website so that people fill out their form, give you the data, you are able to generate sales. How to get the right people to your website or to your app? That's the question, right? So there are two types of traffics. If you look at from the type of traffic, right? One is query based traffic, and second is contextual traffic. In the initial days of digital marketing, query based traffic actually dominated digital marketing. What is query based? It means that people are actually going to a search engine and typing in a query, right? And then they are searched for a relevant search result like Google. So Google dominated digital space. 83% of people used to search on Google, find the content that they need, go ahead and make the purchase. When Facebook launched its advertising platform, that's when somewhere in 2010 or 11, I assume, right? That or earlier, maybe I think 2009, not sure. That's when contextual advertising came to the forefront, right? Contextual advertising is essentially targeting people based on their interests, behavior, demographic profile, and past online behavior, right? So it's creating contextual communication and showing that contextual communication to users or your prospects based on their behavior, based on their interests, right? Based on their demographic profile, location, and so on, right? So there are these 4 big traffic sources. I'm not sure whether you've heard of FANG, right? FANG, I'll just give my contact details. Oops, sorry. So it's connect at the rate, right? I cannot type the at the rate, some issues. Marathe.net, right? This is for everyone. Connect at, this is my contact details, right? So connect at the rate mandarmarathe.net. You'll find it also on my website, which is mandarmarathe.net. Right. So there are, coming back to our example, where you must have heard of FANG, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, the large tech companies, right? They actually dominate the traffic sources, not so much Netflix. Netflix dominates your time, right, spent online, whereas the rest, Facebook, Amazon, and Google, they dominate actually from where you can get traffic to your website, right? So Google is query based. They also have contextual targeting. Facebook is contextual, which means there are no keyword searches, but you can target people based on their interest. Instagram is again contextual targeting. Amazon has both, right? You can go to Amazon, search for a product, and you might, if you are listed on Amazon, you can promote a product based on what people are searching in Amazon's search bar, right? It also provides visibility for your brand, right? So let's say Amazon Music, they have started accepting podcasts. So if you are a brand, you can basically, list out your podcast on Amazon and then get some bit of brand awareness, right? So other way of classifying traffic, one is query and contextual. Other way of classifying traffic to your website is internal traffic and external traffic, right? Internal traffic is essentially traffic that you own and you have complete control over. External traffic is traffic where you are at the mercy of some other company or some other organization. Can someone give me any example of internal traffic? Right? Can you give me example of internal traffic? I spilled a
Google.
bean. Internal, you have control over that traffic. Your owned digital assets. Exactly, right? What would be those owned digital assets?
Website.
Your web.
Facebook page. Also social network page. Customers, right? What is external over, right? So hello. Yeah, Facebook page can be external source of traffic. You are dependent on these, external platforms, right? So I have broken down the different traffic, sources, internal and external. Internal is basically email list that you own, which is there in your CRM. Your, WhatsApp, you can do WhatsApp marketing to people whose phone number you have. You can use Facebook Messenger and do ads on Facebook Messenger to people whose phone number or email ID you have, right? External traffic from external sources to your website. You can classify that as, traffic from search engines, whether it's running Google ads, Bing ads, SEO, traffic from social media. It can be organic or paid. Organic means you just put out a post on your Instagram page, or you put out a post on your Facebook page or on your LinkedIn company page. You've not paid or you've not promoted this post. Whereas paid social is you're using advertisement platform available with any of these: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, etc., to promote your content, right? On social media, you could also have influencer marketing, which is essentially getting bloggers or social media influencers to talk about your brand or your services, right? Then there can be external email traffic, which is third party database, right? Companies such as, let's say, Netcore. You can use Netcore. They have email list, huge customer list, and you can target those emails, right? You can do PR, which is put out guest posts on other websites. You can do PR articles, right? So I'm going to actually share with you, this sheet. Let me just put it on chat, right? I hope, 1 second, let me just change this to everyone, right? I hope everyone has this free sheet that I have created, right? Let's just go to this sheet for now. Right? This is the internet traffic blueprint sheet, right? This is the internet traffic blueprint sheet. It tells you, what are the different sources from where you can get traffic, and under search engines, what are the forms of different types of traffic, right? And then I've also classified this traffic as slow traffic, fast moving traffic, or traffic that is going at a medium pace, right? How is this classification based on? It's based on how quickly you can get traffic to your website, right? For Google Ads, once you create a Google Ads account, you can immediately start getting traffic to your website. Whereas SEO, organic traffic, I think someone had a question here on chat, right? The question was, how much time does search engine optimization take, right? Search engine optimization usually takes 6 months and upwards, right? That's why I've classified it as slow, marked it in red.
right? So obviously you'll have to create a ton of content. You'll have to engage with an SEO expert, and then you get traffic. But yeah, that traffic is sustainable traffic. It's really good traffic, right? Uh, After 6 months, you'll start seeing results, but it's slow traffic. It will take time. Organic social media, which means posting on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Quora, Pinterest, LinkedIn, any of these channels, I classified it as medium speed traffic. The simple reason is that it will take you time as a business owner to build reach for any of these channels, right? So to grow your fan base on Instagram will take time. To grow your fan base or followers on Quora, LinkedIn, whatever it is, will take time, right? So it will take roughly 2 to 3 months of minimum effort with consistency to start seeing results of people actually coming to your website from social media, right? Social media paid, which is advertisements on Facebook, Twitter, Quora, YouTube, LinkedIn, right? This is fast traffic, which means you can load the ad, launch the ad in a day's time, right? And you can instantly start getting people to your website based on the targeting that you're doing, right? Influencer marketing, again, I would classify social media influencers fast traffic because they already have a reach, right? They already have that reach. They have, let's say, 10,000 followers, 20,000, 30,000 followers, whatever it might be, right? Email marketing, again, if it's a third-party database, it's fast traffic. If it's your owned list, which means your own set of customers, it's medium traffic. The simple reason I've classified is for a small business to build your customer database, it might take time, so it's slow traffic, right? Whereas for an enterprise or an existing large business, this is fast traffic because you already have an existing set of customers, right? Then PR, again, posting a PR article, doing a guest post, I have classified this as slow traffic because it might take time for building the brand and then subsequently doing a PR article, right? Display is nothing but banner ads that you see on different websites, right? So again, you can quickly launch these banner ads. It doesn't take much time to launch these banner ads. Let's say on Sanjeev Kapoor's website, you might want to contact the sales team, or on any of the Times of India sites, let's say publisher networks. So where let's say you want to launch an ad on Ghana or Times of India, right? You reach out to their team, you set up your account, you can run the ads. You want to launch and showcase an ad on Money Control, CNBC, which is a part of Network 18. You reach out to their digital team, you can quickly launch a campaign, right? And get fast traffic to your website. So one is as a startup or a business, or while choosing a channel, you need to first see what your short-term and long-term focus is. For your short-term, use channels that have fast speed. For your long term, use channels that have medium or slow speed, right? So you need to keep an eye on both. It's not either or, like I said, right? So focus on both, but know where to put in how much effort, right? And then also look at whether your audience or your customers are there on these channels. For example, on B2B websites, right? Social media organic, only LinkedIn might make sense. The other channels might not make sense. Social media paid, only LinkedIn ads or maybe Quora ads might make sense. Other advertising platforms might not make sense, right? Email marketing, owned list would definitely make sense for B2B. Putting out a PR article for B2B would make sense, right? So again, is your target audience here? And then, through different techniques, which is beyond the scope of this workshop, you need to try to understand how much traffic can you get from this site or this specific channel, right? Uh, so just quick nugget before we open up the floor for questions, right? What do most businesses end up doing, right? And you should not fall for this. They try to spread too thin in terms of doing everything: Google ads, SEO, social media, blog post, email marketing, YouTube videos, podcast karo, display ads banao, influencer marketing use karo, or using all of this drive traffic to the website or to their app, right? Whereas in my experience, if you want to generate sales, leads, brand awareness, you should, as a business, you should focus only on 1 or 2 channels at the max, right? So you should focus only on 1 or 2 channels at the max to drive traffic to your website, iteratively, operate on these channels, right? And then generate sales or leads. I'm going to recommend you a book since we are short of time, right? Uh, the book is called Traction. Right, not this. Yeah, this one. This is the book. I'm going to share it in chat here for everyone. This is one of a good books for understanding different digital channels, right? And once you go through the book, I have also created a traction model worksheet for you. So let me just share that link also with you, right? Which will help you to actually, understand or zero down on which uh, channel to choose, right? So this is the traction model sheet. Let me just open this up really quick. This is the traction sheet, which you should actually first read the book, then look at the sheet. But essentially, it's a list of channels, right? And specific strategies in these channels, right? And then specific tactics under these strategies, right? And then estimating customers that you can get, number of leads you can generate, how much you want to spend on that channel, what is the acquisition cost, and also on, right? So I think it's slightly beyond today's discussion. So I'll just share this sheet with you and that book reference, and I'll open the floor for questions. We uh, have roughly 7 minutes. So if there are any questions, I'm available here to take your questions. And after the workshop, please do provide your feedback. That will help me create other such workshops. On, I think Karthik or someone had shared the uh, feedback link. I'm again going to copy that and paste it here down for everyone to give their feedback. So please use the Google form to provide your feedback. Any questions? We have any questions? Happy to take those.
Um, so Mandar, thank you for answering my earlier question.
Yeah.
When we're looking at startups, particularly the younger startups, funding or finances is kind of they're constrained, resource constrained, right? So how do they optimize their marketing spend for identifying and all of that? Meaning, what kind of a budget should they look at?
Great question. So with minimal budgets, you have to resort to growth hacking techniques. So again, I would definitely request you to look at this book called Growth Hacking by Sean Ellis. Hacking Growth, sorry, by Sean Ellis. Right, great book if you are interested in leveraging whatever resources you have to get traction, right? The philosophy here is essentially, yes, you have less budgets. So but as Indians, we have less budget and more jugaad, right? So you have to apply your jugadu mentality to digital marketing, right? In terms of how can I get the most, from which channel I can get the most at the lowest cost, right? Again, there is no right or wrong answer for this. Once you'll, I think, read the traction book, you'll understand that. So one way I would say is, don't focus or spread too thin. Focus on one channel or at the max 2 channels, so that your efforts are concentrated to a specific channel. Don't waste your time doing 10 things, right? Second, seek expert help, even if it comes at a cost, right? I'm in no ways wanting to promote digital marketing agency or any other company, right? But if you don't really have the time, and let's say your focus area as an entrepreneur is some other area, let's say it's focused on cash flows, it's focused on, let's say, supply chain for your business, then obviously digital marketing is not your forte. So you should definitely consult or get at least consultation with an agency, and create a strategy or a map. Invest time and money in planning, as opposed to just investing money in spending on ads, right? Planning is equally, or I would say more important than execution, right? Execution to koi bhi kar dega. Matlab, there are like 4,500 digital marketing agencies in India itself, right? And one new digital marketing agency coming up every day, right? So execution के लिए बहुत सारे लोग मिलेंगे, but planning के लिए you need a strategy. So invest time, effort in planning your digital strategy, right? And the plan should again revolve around only 1 or 2 channels, I would say, initially, till you achieve traction, which means till you achieve your goals. Once you achieve your goal, let's say, you can create incremental goal, and then maybe you have more budgets, experiment with other channels, right? So I would say, be a T-shaped entrepreneur, where you have surface knowledge across all the digital channels, but you have deep knowledge in one channel, and you're just leveraging that one channel for generating traction for your business, right? So that would be my answer. But again, there are a lot of growth hacking techniques across different channels. You can read Hacking Growth by Sean Ellis, or you can read Traction, and it will give you a lot of more insights. Any other questions? Yes.
I think
Yes.
We are done with all the questions. And right, Aparna ma'am, is there anyone else who wants to ask a question?
I don't see anything on the chat, so maybe yes, and maybe people would write to Mandar separately, probably.
Right.
Yes,
I see
there's
just
one
one
question now.
question.
Yeah.
Any tips for B2B MSME companies?
B2B MSME companies. So I would say, as a owner or a owner, you need to be active on LinkedIn and build your thought leadership there on LinkedIn. That's where you will be able to generate leads and build your brand also. So LinkedIn as a channel is very important for B2B MSME companies, right? Because the decision makers, let's say you're an automobile part manufacturer, right? You are essentially, your target customer is only the supply or the procurement department at a large automobile company. So you need to only speak to them, and they are only available on LinkedIn, right? So you will be able to do a very niche marketing. So I would say, focus on LinkedIn as a channel. B2B help you reap results in terms of digital marketing. Yes, great. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, team, for having me here today. It was my pleasure to be here. And again, I have already shared my contact details. So if there are any questions, happy to help offline. Please expect delayed responses. I usually don't respond over a weekend. I'll, respond on a weekday, right? Yeah, but I'll definitely respond. So if there are any questions, any help that you need, I'm available. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mandar. And now I would request Karthik to post the feedback link again, and you guys can put your feedback in there. And I also invite Abhimanyu for the last vote of thanks. Abhimanyu, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Sukanya. Thank you, Mandar, for such a wonderful session. I really appreciate for that you agreed to conduct this session for all of us, for the WiE audience. And I personally, I can relate to my startup experience. 3 years back, I was running my own startup, which was which was in food tech domain, and I was running it in Gurgaon. And when we shut down this operation 3 years back, and the entire team sat down to discuss where we failed. So one of the major key areas where we failed was marketing. And by marketing, what we mean is digital marketing. So I personally understand the importance of this domain of digital marketing. So thank you so much once again. And I thank the entire team for conducting the session so well. E-Club team, Sukanya, Aparna ma'am, and everyone. And Mandar, I hope you would not mind if the team, the participants here, if they come back to you, to get one-on-one mentoring later on after this session. I hope you would be available.
Yeah, absolutely. Although my attention is divided between two companies that I run and also teaching at IIT Bombay, I'll be available. Maybe we can have certain mentoring hours or something, so we can work it out. Not an issue,
Sure.
but there'll be.
All right. Sure. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. And thank
Thanks a
you,
lot.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to the audience for, making the session so engaging by asking questions. That is very important. So once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.